Welcome to Crimson Moon Stories, where love is dangerous, fate is cruel, and not every monster wants to hurt you. I'm Noctula, and tonight's story is yours to feel. Let's begin.
The wind howled through the towering spires of Wintervale Keep, carrying flurries of snow that danced like restless spirits under the torchlight. The Moonfire Festival had drawn shifters from across the frozen realm, their breaths misting in, the crisp night air as they gathered in the vast courtyard. Laughter and murmurs filled the space, mingling with the scent of pine resin and roasted venison. Noble women in fur-trimmed cloaks clustered together, their eyes gleaming with excitement, while warriors stood sentinel, their forms silhouetted, against the flickering flames. Arya Veyren lingered at the edge of the crowd, her simple woolen dress offering little shield against the biting cold. As the daughter of a deceased herbalist, she had no place among the elite, yet the festival's call had pulled her here like an invisible thread. Her heart raced, not from the chill, but from the haunting dreams that had plagued her for weeks. Visions of silver light and a warmth surging through her veins, as if the goddess herself whispered secrets in her sleep. Another year under the moon's gaze, murmured a nearby servant, an elderly woman named Mira, who adjusted her shawl with gnarled hands. They say this festival will reveal true mates. The goddess doesn't jest with her signs. Arya glanced at her, forcing a small smile. I've heard the tales, but for an unclaimed Omega like me, it's just another night of watching from afar. Mira chuckled softly, her eyes twinkling. Don't sell yourself short, child. Your mother's herbs healed half this keep. Blood like yours carries its own power. The crowd hushed as drummers began a rhythmic beat, echoing off the stone walls. High above, the full moon hung like a polished pearl, casting an ethereal glow over the assembly. Arya felt a strange heat bloom in her chest, a surge that made her skin tingle. She pressed a hand to her heart, wondering if it was merely the excitement or something more profound stirring within her. Torches flared brighter as the elder priestess stepped forward, her voice carrying on the wind. Tonight, we honor the goddess. Let the moon reveal what fate has woven. Cheers erupted, but Arya's gaze drifted to the distant gates, where shadows hinted at arrivals yet to come. Unbeknownst to her, the night held more than rituals. It promised a change that would shatter her world. As the first dances began, Arya slipped further into the shadows, her mind replaying fragments of her dreams. A fierce gaze meeting hers, a mark igniting like fire on snow. She shook her head, dismissing it as fancy. But deep down, the warmth in her blood whispered otherwise, a harbinger of the goddess's design unfolding under the watchful moon. The gates of Wintervale Keep groaned open, admitting a procession that silenced the revelry. At its head rode Kyle Dravenheart, the Alpha King, his massive black stallion snorting plumes of frost. His presence was a storm unto itself, broad shoulders clad in dark leather armor etched with silver runes, his hair a wild cascade of midnight waves, and eyes like sharpened steel piercing the night. Guards flanked him, but they seemed mere echoes of his commanding aura. Arya froze amid the crowd, her pulse quickening as if drawn by an unseen force. Whispers rippled through the assembly. The king himself hasn't attended in years. Mira tugged at her sleeve. Look sharp, girl. That's power incarnate. Kale dismounted with fluid grace, his boots crunching on the snow. He scanned the courtyard, his expression unreadable, until his gaze locked on Arya. A jolt shot through her, painful and profound, as if lightning bridged the distance between them. She gasped, clutching her chest, where a faint glow began to emanate, seeping through her dress like moonlight on water. What's happening? Arya whispered, her voice trembling. Mira's eyes widened. By the goddess! A mate mark! It's appearing on you! The crowd parted as Kyle strode forward, his steps deliberate. Up close, his scent enveloped her, earth and storm, intoxicating and overwhelming. The glow intensified, forming an intricate symbol on her skin, visible to all. Gasps echoed around them. Kyle halted mere feet away, his jaw tightening. "You," he said, his voice a low rumble that sent shivers down her spine. "An unclaimed Omega? The goddess mocks me." Arya met his stare, defiance flickering amid her shock. "I don't understand this any more than you do, my lord. But the mark, it's real." He reached out, almost touching the glow, but pulled back as if burned. Tension coiled in his frame, his wolf stirring visibly beneath the surface. "This can't be," he muttered, more to himself. "Not here, not now." The priestess approached, her robes swirling. "Alpha King, the mate bond is sacred. The goddess has spoken." Kyle's eyes flashed with conflict. "Sacred or not, I decide my fate." He turned away briefly, then faced Arya again. "Who are you truly?" "Arya Veyron," she replied steadily, though her knees weakened. "Daughter of a herbalist, nothing more." His lips curled in a mirthless smile. "Nothing more? Yet the moon chooses you." The crowd murmured, sensing the storm brewing. Kale's internal battle raged, duty to his kingdom clashing with the pull of the bond. As the festival drums resumed, the air thickened with unspoken tension, the mate mark pulsing like a heartbeat between them. The courtyard fell into stunned silence as Kale's words hung in the air. Arya stood rooted, the mate mark on her chest, throbbing like a fresh wound. Nobles exchanged uneasy glances, while servants like Mira edged closer, protective instincts flaring. Kyle stepped forward, his voice rising to address the assembly. "This mark may glow, but I reject it. I will not bind myself to weakness. An Omega without lineage, unworthy to stand as Queen of Wintervale." Arya's face flushed with humiliation, the heat contrasting the icy wind. "You reject the goddess's will?" she challenged, her voice cracking but firm. "This isn't just about me, it's divine." He laughed bitterly, the sound echoing off the walls. "Divine? Or a curse? I've forged this kingdom through strength, not fragile bonds. You are no queen." Mira intervened, her tone sharp. "My lord, think carefully. The mate bond sustains our realm's balance." Kyle ignored her, his eyes locked on Arya. "Begone from my sight. This farce ends now." Pain lanced through Arya as the bond began to snap, a visceral tear that dropped her. To her knees, she cried out, clutching her chest, the glow flickering erratically. The crowd remained frozen, no one daring to aid her under the king's glare. "Help her!" Mira finally shouted, rushing forward. Two guards hesitated but assisted, lifting Arya as she gasped for breath. Kyle turned away, his fists clenched. "Take her to the servants' wing. Let this be a lesson. The goddess's whims bow to the king's will." As they carried her through the corridors, Arya's vision blurred with tears. "Why? Why me?" she whispered to Mira. The older woman squeezed her hand. "Strength comes from pain, child. He'll regret this." In the courtyard, Kale mounted his stallion, his expression a mask of resolve masking turmoil. Commander Ryan approached. "Sire, was that wise? The people whisper of omens." Kale snarled. "Question me again, and you'll join her in exile." He rode off into the night, the festival's joy shattered, leaving only the howling wind to mourn the broken bond. Arya collapsed onto a cot in the servants' quarters, the agony subsiding to a dull ache. Alone now, she stared at the ceiling, shame and confusion warring within her. The rejection wasn't just words. It had severed something deep, leaving her vulnerable and adrift. In the dimly lit infirmary, Arya lay on a narrow cot, the echoes of Kale's words replaying like thorns in her mind. The pain from the snapped bond radiated through her body, a soul-deep tear that no herb could mend. Moonlight filtered through a small window, casting shadows that seemed to mock her restlessness. The door creaked open, admitting Alara, an older healer with silver-streaked hair and kind eyes. She carried a tray of salves and steaming tea. "Easy now, Arya. Mira told me what happened. Drink this. It'll ease the ache." Arya sat up slowly, wincing. "Ease it? It feels like my heart's been ripped out. How can a bond hurt this much?" Elara set the tray down, her movements gentle. "The mate bond isn't just emotion. It's woven into our shifter essence. Rejecting it, it's like denying the moon itself. But you're strong, girl. Your mother's blood runs true." Sipping the tea, Arya felt a slight warmth spread, dulling the edges of her pain. "I don't feel strong. He called me weak, unworthy. And now, this emptiness." Elara sat beside her, applying a soothing poultice to Arya's chest, where the mark had faded. Kings like Chaol hide their fears behind cruelty, but the goddess chooses for a reason. "Tell me, have you felt changes lately? Dreams? Surges in your blood?" Arya nodded hesitantly. "Yes, before the festival. A warmth, like fire under my skin, and dreams of silver light calling to me." The healer's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. "Signs of awakening. Omegas like you often hold hidden power, especially under the moon's full gaze. Rest now. Tomorrow we'll see what stirs within." As Elara left, Arya lay back, the tea lulling her into uneasy sleep. But visions of Chaol's rejecting gaze haunted her, fueling a spark of resilience. She wouldn't break, not yet. Meanwhile, in his chambers, Chaol paced, the bond snap echoing in his own chest. His wolf, usually a fierce companion, felt distant, silent. "What have I done?" he muttered, slamming a fist against the wall. But pride held him firm, refusing regret. Back in the infirmary, Arya stirred at dawn. The pain lessened, but the wound, fresh. Elara returned with bread and broth. "Eat, child. Strength returns with the light." Arya complied, her mind clearer. "Thank you, Elara. I won't let this define me." The healer smiled faintly. "Good. The goddess has plans, and they don't end with one king's folly." Elara perched on the edge of the cot, her voice a soothing murmur in the morning light. "The mate bond isn't mere chance, Arya. It's the goddesses, thread-binding souls for the kingdom's harmony. Legends speak of a prophecy, an omega of hidden fire restoring balance when shadows threaten Wintervale." Arya set down her broth, intrigued despite her ache. "A prophecy? And you think it involves me?" Chaol rejected it all. "Rejection doesn't erase fate," Elara replied. "Your dreams that surge, they're signs. The bond was meant to unite strength and spirit, but his fear blinded him." Arya stood, testing her legs. "Fear?" He seemed unbreakable. Elara's gaze softened. "Kings carry burdens we can't see, but dwell not on him. Focus on your awakening." In the War Council chamber, Chaol sat rigidly, maps of border threats spread before him. Commander Ryan leaned in. "Sire, scouts report unrest in the north, and the people murmur about the festival. Rejecting the goddess's mark could invite chaos." Chaol's eyes flashed. "Chaos? I avoided it by refusing weakness. An Omega Queen would fracture us." Ryan hesitated. "With respect, the bond sustains our wolves. Yours, has it stirred since?" Kyle gripped the table, his wolf indeed dormant, a terrifying void. "Enough. Focus on the borders." As the meeting dragged, Kyle's mind wandered to Arya's shocked face, guilt gnawing at him. He dismissed the council abruptly, retreating to his study. Arya, meanwhile, slipped from the infirmary, craving fresh air. The snowy woods beyond the keep beckoned, where she and her mother once gathered herbs. "I need clarity," she told Elara at the door. "Be cautious," the healer warned. "The woods hold old magic." Venturing out, Arya trudged through the drifts, the cold invigorating. A faint glow appeared on her palm, startling her. "What is this?" she whispered, recoiling. The mark pulsed, warm against the snow. Memories of her dreams resurfaced, calls from the moonlight, promises of power. She pressed on, drawn deeper. Back at the keep, Kale stared out a window, spotting a lone figure entering the woods. "Arya," he murmured, a flicker of concern piercing his resolve. But he turned away, burying it under duty. In the woods, Arya paused by a frozen stream, the glow intensifying. "Goddess, if this is your design, show me," she said aloud, her voice echoing. The wind answered with a whisper, urging her forward. Deeper into the snowy woods, Arya followed the pulsing glow on her palm, the trees closing in like silent guardians. The air grew thicker, charged with an ancient energy that hummed against her skin. She paused at a clearing where a frozen pond lay hidden, its surface etched with shimmering runes that pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. The glow from her hand intensified, casting silver light across the ice. "What is this place?" Arya whispered, kneeling at the edge. The runes seemed to respond, swirling faintly as if alive. A ethereal voice echoed in her mind, soft, yet commanding. "Daughter of moonlight, you have come. The awakening begins." Arya recoiled, her breath catching. Who are you? Is this the goddess?" The voice deepened, resonating through the trees. Not the goddess, but her echo. Ancient truths stir within you, hidden by rejection and pain. Touch the ice and see. Hesitant, Arya extended her hand. The runes flared, cracking the pond's surface with glowing fissures. Visions flickered in her mind. Flashes of a powerful Omega rising against tyranny, her own face superimposed on forgotten queens. Back at Wintervale Keep, Kale stormed through his chambers, frustration boiling over. He attempted to shift, muscles straining, but his wolf remained dormant, a hollow silence that terrified him. With a roar, he punched the stone wall, knuckles splitting open. The door opened, and Alara entered unannounced, her healer's robes swishing. "My lord, this rage won't mend what's broken," Kyle whirled, blood dripping from his hand. "What do you know of it, healer?" "Leave me." She stood firm, eyes unflinching. "I know you've rejected the moon goddess's will. Arya Veyron carries a power you scorned out of fear, not wisdom. Your wolf sleeps because the bond was sacred, meant to strengthen, not divide. Fear?" Kale snarled, stepping closer. "I fear nothing, a common Omega as queen. It would doom us all." Alara's voice softened. "Doom comes from pride, sire. The prophecy speaks of an awakening that could topple thrones. You've set it in motion by casting her aside." Kyle's anger faltered, guilt flickering. "And if I seek her, now? What then?" "Too late for easy paths," Alara replied. "But the woods call to her. Lights have been seen. Perhaps her power stirs already." He dismissed her with a wave, but her words lingered. Alone, Kyle bandaged his hand, staring into the fire. His wolf's absence gnawed at him, a void he couldn't ignore. In the woods, Arya rose from the pond, the voice fading. "Ancient truths," she murmured, determination hardening her features. The runes dimmed, but the glow on her palm remained, guiding her toward a hidden path. She pressed on, unaware that Alara's warning to Kale echoed her own unfolding destiny. Guided by the glowing cracks from the pond, Arya descended into a concealed cave beneath the ice, the air warming unnaturally as she ventured deeper. Stalactites dripped with luminescent water, illuminating a silver altar at the cavern's heart. Upon it rested a jagged moonstone shard, pulsing like a living heart. "This must be it," Arya said aloud, her voice echoing. "The source of the call." As she approached, the shard hummed, drawing her hand inexorably closer. "Touch me, daughter of moonlight," a voice whispered from the stone. "Claim what was denied." Arya hesitated. "What if it consumes me? I've lost enough already." "Power awaits the worthy," the voice urged. "Embrace it, or fade into shadow." Steeling herself, she grasped the shard. Agony surged through her, visions exploding in her mind, battles of divine wolves, prophecies of fire and moonlight, her own form wielding shadows against oppressors. Her eyes glowed silver, body convulsing as energy flooded her veins. In his chambers, Kyle paced restlessly, the fire's crackle mocking his inner turmoil. His wolf silence deepened, a profound emptiness that left him feeling like a shell of a king. He glanced at his reflection in a polished shield, seeing not the conqueror, but a man haunted by choices. A knock interrupted. Commander Ryan entered, brow furrowed. "Sire, reports from scouts. Unnatural lights in the woods near the frozen lake. Could be sorcery." Cale's heart skipped. Or something tied to the festival. Arya was seen heading that way. Ryan nodded. "The rejected Omega. If she's involved, it could stir unrest. Shall I send a patrol?" "No," Kyle decided, clenching his fists. "I'll go myself. If power awakens there, I must know." Ryan eyed him warily. "Your wolf, it's not returned?" Cale's glare silenced him. "Mind your place. Prepare my horse." As Ryan left, Cale donned his cloak, the weight of regret pressing heavier. Ilara's words replayed. Fear, not wisdom. He shoved them aside, focusing on the threat. Back in the cave, Arya gasped as the visions subsided, the shard embedding faintly into her palm. Strength coursed through her, but so did pain, echoes of Cale's rejection fueling a new resolve. "This power, it's mine now," she declared to the empty cavern. She emerged into the woods, eyes still faintly glowing, the shard's energy humming within. The night felt alive, responsive to her will. Unseen by her, Kyle rode toward the lake, drawn by the same lights that marked her transformation. Cale urged his stallion through the deepening snow, the unnatural lights flickering ahead like distant stars fallen to earth. Ryan's warnings echoed in his mind, but guilt propelled him forward. The image of Arya's pained collapse at the festival, refusing to fade. "What if Ilara's right?" he muttered. "What if I've unleashed something beyond control?" Arriving at the frozen lake, he dismounted, scanning the cracked ice and fading runes. "Arya!" he called, voice swallowed by the wind. No answer came, but a residual warmth lingered, hinting at recent magic. In the woods beyond, Arya wandered, her senses sharpened by the moonstone's power. The rustle of leaves whispered secrets, the scent of pine carried hidden stories. Despite the broken bond, a faint thread to Cale tugged at her, irritating yet undeniable. A voice echoed in her head. The shards echo. The bond breaks, but echoes remain. Heal or destroy. The choice is yours. "I won't be destroyed," Arya vowed aloud. Not by him, not by anyone. Back at the keep, Ryan gathered scouts in the war room. "The king rides alone. Foolish in these woods. Warden Theron, what say you?" Theron, a grizzled veteran with a scarred face, crossed his arms. "Lights like that. Old magic, from the goddess's forbidden realms. If the Omega's involved, as Ilara claims, it spells trouble." Ryan nodded. "The court already buzzes with suspicion. Kyle's rejection has them questioning his judgment." Theron grunted. "Send me after him. Can't have the Alpha falling to shadows." Ryan agreed. "Go, and report back swiftly." Kyle, meanwhile, followed faint footprints from the lake, leading to the cave's entrance. He entered cautiously, the air thick with residual energy. "Arya, if you're here, show yourself," he demanded. No response, but the altar's empty pedestal confirmed something. Had been taken. Frustration mounted. He'd rejected her, yet now feared for her safety. The potential threat she posed gnawing at him. Arya, sensing a presence nearby, paused in a thicket. "Kyle," she whispered, the bond's echo alerting her. But she pressed on, refusing to confront him yet. Her power grew, the world vivid and alive, fueling her determination. Kyle emerged from the cave, mounting his horse with a curse. "Whatever you've become, Arya, I won't let it threaten Wintervale." He rode back, shadows of guilt lengthening behind him. Theron arrived at the lake soon after, spotting Kale's tracks. "The king's been here," he reported via messenger bird to Ryan, "and something powerful too." At Wintervale Keep, Kale faced the court in the Grand Hall, nobles murmuring like restless wolves. The bond mark on his chest itched, festering as a reminder of his choice. "Enough whispers," he barked, silencing them. "My loyalty to the kingdom stands. The rejection was necessary. Strength demands it." A elder noble, Lord Harlan, stepped forward. "Sire, the goddess's mark was clear. Rejecting an Omega mate invites curses." Rumors spread of lights in the woods, omens of unrest. Kyle's eyes narrowed. "Omens or not, I rule here. Focus on borders, not superstitions." Ryan interjected from the side. "The scouts confirm the lights tie to old runes. And Arya Veyron, she's changed." The hall tensed. Kyle waved dismissively. "She poses no threat." Dismissed. As the court filed out, Kyle retreated to his balcony, the mark burning. "What have you wrought?" he whispered to the night. In the woods, Arya gazed at her reflection in a stream, her eyes glowing silver, skin warmer against the cold. Sorrow twisted into wrath, Kale's insults fueling a fire within. "Unworthy? Weak!" she spat. "I'll show you strength," the shard's voice returned. "Embrace the wrath, Omega of fire. Revenge beckons." "Yes," Arya agreed, clenching her fist. "He'll suffer for unchoosing me." A dreamlike haze overtook her, Kyle's face appearing in flames, his voice haunting. She awoke with resolve, venturing deeper toward Shadowfen's edge. Kyle, meanwhile, awakened. From a similar dream, Arya's fiery visage calling him, his wolf stirred faintly, resentment and longing mixing. "What are you becoming?" he murmured. Ryan knocked, entering with Theron. "Sire, more reports. Footprints lead to Shadowfen. The cursed forest twists intruders." Theron added, "Feared by all shifters. If she's entered without blessing, she's lost, or changed." Kyle stood. "Then we survey the border. I must see for myself." In Shadowfen's fringes, Arya felt the forest pulse, bark whispering names. Daughter of the Forgotten, Omega of Fire, Queen of the Rejected. "This is who I am," she declared, stepping into a clearing bathed in otherworldly light. Her transformation intensified, power surging as she embraced her wrath. "Kyle will kneel," she vowed. Kale arrived at the ridge with Ryan and Theron, spotting cracked ice and glowing footprints vanishing into Shadowfen. "She's in there," he said grimly. The runes pulsed, then darkened as he approached. "It rejects me," Kyle realized. "Whatever she's become, it's beyond my reach." Arya delved deeper into Shadowfen, the twisted trees groaning as if sharing ancient sorrows. The forest's reputation, consuming the unworthy, didn't deter her. Instead, it welcomed her, vines parting like loyal subjects. Whispers grew louder, revealing fragments of her identity. "You are the rejected queen," a spectral voice intoned from the bark. "Claim your throne in shadows." Arya touched a trunk, feeling its pulse. "Throne, I seek only justice. For my pain, for the forgotten." The voice laughed softly. "Justice and power entwine. Daughter of the Forgotten, let the forest teach you." Visions assailed her, outcasts rising, flames devouring thrones. She emerged stronger, shadowy creatures trailing her like guardians. At the forest's edge, Kale surveyed the darkening runes with Ryan and Theron. "This barrier, it's alive," Theron observed. "Pushes back like a ward." Kyle pressed a hand to the air, feeling resistance. "It's rejecting me specifically. Because of her." Ryan frowned. "Sire, entering Shadowfen uninvited is madness. Your wolf's still silent. You'll be vulnerable." "I must know what she's become," Kale insisted. "If she threatens Wintervale, I'll end it." Theron shook his head. "Or she'll end you. The forest remembers cruelties." Kyle mounted. "Return to the keep. I'll scout alone." As they departed, Kyle circled the border, frustration mounting. "Arya, what power have you claimed?" he muttered. Inside, Arya reached a glowing clearing, moonlight pooling like liquid silver. "This is my domain now," she declared, raising her arms. Shadows danced at her command, forming ethereal wolves that bowed. The Shard's voice affirmed, "You are ready. The reckoning approaches." Exhaustion tugged at her, but wrath sustained her. She envisioned Chaol's fall, not as queen beside him, but as the force dismantling his world. Chaol, spotting faint movement within, called out, "Arya, show yourself!" No answer came, but a chill wind carried her scent, stirring his dormant wolf with shame and longing. He retreated, the forest's rejection a mirror to his own choices. Ryan and Theron awaited at the keep. "Nothing?" Ryan asked. Kyle dismounted wearily. "She's changed. The runes bar me. Perhaps forever." Theron nodded gravely. "Then prepare for what emerges. Shadowfen doesn't release its chosen lightly." Arya, in the clearing, felt a surge of belonging. "Daughter of the Forgotten," she repeated, stepping fully into her role, the forest's magic weaving into her essence. In the heart of Shadowfen's glowing clearing, Arya stood encircled by shadowy wolves, their forms flickering like smoke. The air thickened as a luminous spirit materialized, a translucent figure in ancient armor, eyes like twin moons. "You are not yet ready, daughter of moonlight," the spirit intoned, its voice a chorus of whispers. "I am the remnant of the moons, first guard bound to this forest since the dawn of shifters." Arya squared her shoulders, the moonstone shard in her palm thrumming. "Ready for what? I've claimed power already, enough to face the one who rejected me." The spirit circled her slowly. "Power without purpose is chaos. Your anger at Chaol blinds you. The bond lingers, a thread of weakness. Sever it fully, and I offer the forest's might in return." Arya's chest tightened, memories of Chaol's cruelty surging. "Sever it. It's already broken. Why does it still ache?" "Because bonds forged by the goddess don't fade easily," the spirit replied. "Release it and command shadows unbound, but choose wisely. The pain will be final." She hesitated, visions of Chaol's steel eyes flashing. "He called me unworthy. I owe him nothing." "Then speak the words," the spirit urged. "Forsake the Alpha's claim." Arya closed her eyes, whispering, "I release you, Chaol. No more." Agony ripped through her, the last thread snapping like brittle ice. She collapsed, gasping, as the spirit nodded. "It is done. Now rise, one with Shadowfen." Power flooded her anew, shadow wolves solidifying at her command, magic weaving through her veins. "What now?" she asked, standing tall. "Command as you will," the spirit faded. "But remember, power demands reckoning." Far away at Wintervale Keep, Chaol doubled over in his study, a void exploding in his chest. "What is this?" he gasped, clutching his heart. Ryan burst in, alarmed. "Sire, are you wounded?" Chaol straightened, face pale. "The bond, it's gone. Truly gone." Ryan's eyes widened. "Arya, in Shadowfen." Chaol nodded grimly. "She's severed it. Alara was right. I've lost more than I knew." Theron entered behind Ryan. "Scouts confirm, the forest stirs. If she's claimed its power, she could threaten us all." Kyle waved them off. "Leave me. I need to think." Alone, he stared at the maps, questioning his rejection for the first time. Emptiness gnawed, his wolf utterly silent. In Shadowfen, Arya tested her new abilities, shadows bending to her will. "I'm free," she murmured, but a hollow ache lingered. The spirit's warning echoed, reckoning awaited, and with it, perhaps Kyle's downfall. Kyle stormed into the keep's ancient library, dust motes swirling in the torchlight. "Where is it?" he demanded of the archivist, an elderly shifter named Lorik. "The map to the Hollow Vale, untouched for a century." Lorik bowed, trembling. "Sire, that forbidden place, The forest guards it jealously. None return unchanged. Find it, Kyle snapped. Arya's in Shadowfen and she's different. I must reach her. Lorik rummaged through sealed scrolls, unrolling a faded parchment. Here, my lord. But heed the warnings. The veil twists minds, devours the unworthy. Kale snatched it, memorizing the path. Worthy or not, I go. As he left, Elara intercepted, him in the hall. Rushing into danger without your wolf? Foolish, even for you. Kyle paused, irritation flaring. What would you have me do? Wait while she grows stronger? Elara's gaze pierced. Acknowledge your mistake. The bond severing weakens you both. Seek atonement, not conquest. He brushed past. Atonement? Too late. In Shadowfen, Arya moved with newfound confidence, the forest transforming around her, thorns parting, paths illuminating. Shadowy animals flanked her, foxes of mist, birds of night. This power, it's intoxicating, she said to a lingering shadow wolf. But why does the emptiness persist? The shard pulsed in response. Power fills voids, but hearts heal slowly. Envision your vengeance. She did, picturing Wintervale crumbling, Kale begging for mercy. He'll pay, she vowed, stepping toward the forest's core. Kale rode out at dusk, the map clutched tightly. Ryan and Theron awaited at the gates. Sire, let us accompany you, Ryan pleaded. The forest's wrath is legendary. No, Kyle refused. This is mine to face. Guard the keep. Theron grumbled. If you fall, the kingdom does too. Kyle spurred his horse. Then ensure it doesn't. Deeper in Shadowfen, Arya reached an ancient grove, vines blooming at her touch. The reckoning starts here, she declared, magic surging as she practiced summoning shadows into weapons. Visions of Kale's kingdom, in ruins fueled her, a force of vengeance rising. Kale approached the forest's edge, the air growing hostile. Arya, he whispered, determination hardening. I'll find you, whatever the cost. Elara watched from a tower window, sighing. Pride leads to ruin, but perhaps desperation to redemption. Ryan turned to Theron in the courtyard. Prepare defenses. If he fails, war comes to our doors. Arya, sensing a distant pull, smiled coldly. Come if you dare, Kyle. Shadowfen awaits. Kyle plunged into Shadowfen's depths, the trees closing like jaws behind him. Vines lashed out, thorns drawing blood from his arms. Damn this place, he growled, hacking with his sword. The forest remembered. His rejection, roots tripping him, branches clawing like accusations. Why fight me? He shouted at the canopy. I'm the king! A whisper rustled through leaves. Kings fall. You rejected her. Now face our wrath. His wolf's silence amplified his isolation, each step a battle against growing wounds. Regret surfaced, memories of Arya's pained eyes at the festival. I was wrong, he admitted to the shadows, but I won't die here. Hours blurred into agony, blood staining the snow. Finally, he stumbled into a mist-shrouded glade, collapsing against a tree. Arya, where are you? She appeared then, glowing, with moonstone power, flanked by shadow wolves. You dare enter my domain? Arya's voice was ice, eyes silver flames. Kale rose unsteadily, pride shattered. I had to find you, the bond severing, it hollowed me. Arya laughed bitterly. Hollowed? You broke it first with your words, weak, unworthy, remember? He met her gaze, voice raw. I do. Every cruel syllable. But seeing you now, this power, I was blind. The shadow wolves growled, circling. Blind or cruel, Arya challenged. You come wounded, desperate. Why should I listen? Kyle knelt, not from command, but exhaustion. Because without you, I'm fragmented. My wolf sleeps, my kingdom teeters. I regret it all. Arya's expression wavered, wrath clashing with lingering pain. Regret changes nothing. Leave, before the forest claims you. He looked up, eyes pleading. Let me stay, prove myself. She turned away, shadows thickening. The night grows cold. Be gone. But Kyle remained kneeling, silent defiance in his posture. Arya retreated into the mist, her wolves watching him. Fool, she muttered, heart aching despite her resolve. Back at the keep, Ryan paced the war room with Theron. No word from the king. Scouts report the forest stirring wildly. Theron sharpened his blade. If he's lost, we rally the packs. Elara entered. He's not lost yet. Desperation may save him. In the glade, Kyle endured the cold, wounds throbbing, his presence a tentative bridge to Arya's guarded heart. Arya watched from afar, conflicted. Why persist? She whispered to the shadows. The forest offered no answer, only the weight of unspoken emotions hanging in the air. Dawn filtered through Shadowfen's canopy, casting fractured light on Kyle as he stirred from uneasy sleep on the cold stone. His wounds had crusted over, but the ache in his chest ran deeper. Arya approached cautiously, her shadow wolves at heel, expression a mask of resolve. You didn't leave, she observed, voice neutral. Kyle stood slowly, wincing. I couldn't. Not until you hear me out. She crossed, her arms. Hear what? More insults? Or excuses for your cowardice? He stepped closer, vulnerability etching his features. No excuses. I was afraid of vulnerability, of an Omega making me human. My mother was shunned, poisoned for her status. It hardened me, built walls against bonds like ours. Arya's eyes narrowed, but curiosity flickered. And now, those walls crumble because your wolf sleeps. Kyle shook his head. They crumble because without you, I'm broken, powerless. I rejected you out of fear, not strength. Arya, I vow, anything to regain your trust. Suffer, humiliate me if needed. Just let me try. She studied him, the sincerity piercing her armor. Trust? You shattered it publicly. Why should I believe this? Because I kneel not as king, but as a man who sees his mistake, he replied softly. You're not weak. You're the fire I need. Arya turned away, emotions warring. Words are cheap, Kyle. Prove it, or leave forever. He nodded. I will, starting now. She gestured to the forest boundary. Sleep outside tonight, under my watch. No comforts. Kyle accepted without protest, moving to the edge. As you wish. As the night fell, Arya observed from the shadows, his vulnerable form a stark contrast to the fearsome alpha she remembered. Changed, she murmured to a shadow wolf. But is it enough? At the keep, Ryan convened with Theron and Elara. The king's absence grows dangerous. Rumors spread. Elara smiled faintly. He's facing his trial in the forest. Progress, perhaps. Theron snorted. Or death. We must prepare. Ryan agreed. Send scouts discreetly, but no interference. Kyle lay on the stone, moonlight bathing him. Forgive me, Arya, he whispered to the stars. I'll earn it. Arya retreated to her grove, the confession stirring unresolved feelings. Not forgiveness, she told herself, but maybe a chance. The forest hushed, as if approving the fragile step forward. In the misty dawn of Shadowfen, Arya stood before Kyle, her power humming like a storm about to break. You've confessed, she said coldly, but words aren't atonement. I've summoned the ancient trial of ruin and redemption, an ordeal few survive. Kyle met her gaze steadily. What must I do? Enter the sacred circle, Arya replied, gesturing to a ring of glowing stones infused with moonlight. Face your shadows. Only the worthy emerge whole. He nodded, stepping inside. The air shimmered, sealing him in. For you, he murmured. The forest prepared, vines weaving barriers. Arya watched from afar, shadow wolves guarding her. Inside the circle, a mirror image materialized. Kale's younger self, ruthless and blood-stained from his rise to power. "You think you're worthy?" the shadow sneered. "Cruel king, slaughterer of kin, unfit for her." Kale's fists clenched. "I was that once, but no more." The shadow lunged, sword clashing against Kyle's. "Liar! You rejected her out of the same cruelty." They fought fiercely, echoes of past battles ringing. "Admit it! You fear love!" the shadow taunted. Kyle parried, determination blazing. "I did, but fear ends today." With a roar, he struck the shadow down, shattering it like glass. Glowing shards scattered, blooming into flowers amid rising flames. Memories ignited. His mother's poisoning, Arya's humiliation at the festival. "Face it all," Arya called from outside. "Or perish." Kyle stood amid the fire. "I built walls to shield pain," he confessed aloud. "But they destroyed more. Arya, I love you. Not as queen, but as the light I denied." The flames vanished, spirits, circling with a blade. "Offer your guarded strength," they whispered. Kale sliced his chest, blood mingling with shards, pride releasing in a surge. His wolf reignited, howling triumphantly. The circle dissolved. Kyle emerged, transformed, eyes clear. "It's done." Arya approached, hope flickering dangerously. "You've changed, but forgiveness, I'm not ready." He bowed his head. "I understand. Let this be a start," she nodded tentatively. "Stay then. Help mend what you broke." Back at the keep, Ryan received a scout's report. "The king's alive, in Shadowfen with her." Theron grinned. "Redemption or trap?" Alara chuckled. "The beginning of healing, I suspect." Kyle and Arya shared a quiet glance, the trial marking fragile progress amid lingering wounds. As the sacred circle's glow faded, Kyle stood, transformed, his chest wound healing with unnatural speed, the blade dissolving into mist. His wolf surged back, a fierce howl echoing through, Shadowfen shaking leaves from the trees. Arya watched from the grove's edge, her shadow wolves pacing restlessly. Hope flickered in her chest, dangerous and unwelcome, but she masked it with caution. "You've survived," she said, approaching slowly. "The trial deemed you worthy. But what does that mean for us?" Kale met her eyes, his voice steady despite exhaustion. "It means I faced my demons. My mother's fate, shunned as an Omega, poisoned by those who feared her influence. It twisted me. I built walls to avoid her pain, but they only caused more. Rejecting you. It was my greatest folly." Arya's expression softened slightly. "Walls that hurt others, like me." He nodded. "Yes. And I admit my love for you, Arya, not out of duty, but truth. The flames showed me a life without you. Empty, broken." She turned away, fingers tracing the moonstone shard. "Love? After everything? I'm not ready to forgive, Kale. Not yet." "I don't ask for forgiveness now," he replied gently. "Just time, to prove I'm changed." Arya glanced at the blooming flowers where shards had fallen. "Stay then. Help repair the grove's barriers. But know this, my power grows wilder. The trial may have reignited your wolf, but the severed bond still aches." Kyle agreed, rolling up his sleeves. Together then, they worked in silence at first, mending vines and stones with her magic and his strength. As dusk fell, Arya's power surged unexpectedly, shadows dancing erratically. "It's unpredictable," she admitted, "like it has a will of its own." Kyle observed with admiration, tinged with fear. "Beautiful, but dangerous. You don't need me anymore, do you?" She paused, meeting his gaze. "Need? No. But perhaps want is different." Their interaction remained tentative, a bridge forming over the chasm of past hurts. Far at Wintervale Keep, Ryan gathered Theron and Alara in the war room. "The King's signal fire from Shadowfen. He lives." Alara smiled. "And changed, I wager." Theron grunted. "For how long?" "Rumors brew here. Ryan nodded. Watch the nobles. If Arya returns with him, chaos follows. In the grove, Kyle and Arya shared a fire, the ache of the bond, a quiet companion. This is a start, Kyle said softly. Arya nodded. Perhaps. The forest whispered approval, shadows calming as healing began. The next day in Shadowfen's grove, Arya's magic flared wildly during a sudden storm, lightning cracking as shadows whipped like tempests. The moonstone shard, embedded deeper in her chest, pulsing erratically. "It's too much!" she cried, hands glowing as energy repelled nearby trees. Kyle rushed to her side, dodging a surge that singed his cloak. "Arya, control it. Focus on me," she whirled, eyes silver storms. "I can't. The power, it's overwhelming since the trial." He reached out, but the force pushed him back. "You must. Remember the pond, the runes. They chose you for this." Arya struggled, shadows coiling around her like chains. "Why now? The bond's gone, but I feel connected still." Kyle pressed forward against the wind. "Perhaps it never fully broke. Let me help. Burn with me if needed." Her power hesitated, then subsided as she grabbed his hand. "You'd risk that? For me?" He held firm, vulnerability in his voice. "I'd risk everything. You're not alone." The storm calmed, leaving them breathless in the rain. Arya leaned against him briefly. "Thank you. But why does it ache more?" Kyle squeezed her hand. "Regret lingers. Unresolved emotions fuel it." They sat in quiet support. No promises spoken, but intimacy growing. Rumours reached Wintervale Keep, where Lord Harlan addressed the court. "The king rejects the goddess's mate, then vanishes into Shadowfen. He's bewitched," Ryan intervened. "Hold your tongue, Harlan. Scouts confirm he's with Arya. Changed, powerful," Theron added. "The nobles fear her. Whispers of curses spread." Elara, overhearing, warned Ryan privately. "Fear breeds betrayal. Prepare defenses." In the grove, Arya tested her magic again, more controlled. "It's stabilizing," she said. Kale nodded. "Good. But the kingdom won't welcome us easily." She smiled faintly. "Let them fear. We've faced worse." As night fell, they shared stories by the fire. Arya of her herbalist mother, Kale of his hardened youth. "I see you differently now," he admitted. Arya met his eyes. "As do I." The moment lingered, vulnerability bridging their past, while at the keep, Ryan ordered extra patrols. "If they return united, the old order crumbles." Theron agreed. "And if not, war within." Elara prayed silently. "Goddess, guide their healing." In Shadowfen, Arya and Kyle rested, the storm's aftermath a testament to their growing bond. Arya and Kyle emerged from Shadowfen's boundary, crossing into Wintervale's snowy fields. Word spread swiftly, nobles gathering in the keep's hall. "The king returns, with the rejected Omega," Lord Harlan sneered. "She's cursed, corrupted by the forest." Kyle entered first, Arya at his side, her presence radiating power. The court fell silent. "I stand before you renewed," Kyle declared. "Arya is no curse. She's blessed by the goddess. I choose her again, bond or no." Harlan stepped forward. "Choose. You rejected her publicly. The sacred law forbids such whims." Arya spoke calmly, eyes glowing faintly. "Laws bend to truth. I won't bow for your comfort," Kyle warned her softly. "Careful. They fear what they can't control." She nodded. "I know. But submission ends now." Ryan approached, bowing. "Sire, welcome back. The borders hold, but unrest festers here," Theron added. "Nobles plot. Accusations fly. She's a threat," Harlan persisted. "An Omega without bond as queen. It defies order," Kyle's voice thundered. "Order I decree. She's my equal, my choice." Arya addressed the hall. "Fear me if you must, but I've faced rejection, awakened power. Harm me and reap the whirlwind," the council murmured. tension thick. Outside her chamber later, Chaol found a brutal scene. Slaughtered guards, a white wolf's head nailed to the door. War, he muttered. Arya joined him, defiant. They fear my power, my status. He turned to her. We'll fight back, together. She vowed. Burn the kingdom before I submit. At dawn, they buried the head under an old moon tree, a solemn ritual. This declares war, Arya said, channeling rage. Chaol nodded. So be it. In a deserted corridor, Ryan found Chaol reflecting. Old, friend, the kingdom fears her more than enemies. Chaol sighed. I know. But she's right. We protect or control, Ryan challenged. Decide soon. Loyalty splits. Elara tended the wounded, whispering to Meera. The Omega rises. Pray the king stands firm. Meera nodded. Or all falls. The council convened. In secret, Alpha's cloaked. She's an imposter, Harlan hissed. Strike with silver at moonrise. They agreed, plotting deadly assault. Arya, sensing unrest, prepared. This is just the start, she told Kyle. He embraced her briefly. And we'll end it our way. Beneath the old moon tree, Arya knelt in the dawn light, placing the white wolf's head in a shallow grave. Her hands glowed as she chanted ancient words, grief and rage fusing into quiet fury. Shadows stirred, the forest beyond responding with a low rumble. Kyle watched solemnly. This ritual, what does it awaken? Arya rose, eyes fierce. A force in the woods, reckoning for those who reject the forgotten. He nodded. Then let it come. The council underestimates you. In the keep's lower levels, Arya felt a magical pulse drawing her to a hidden temple beneath the castle. Stone walls parted, revealing carvings of thrones and flames. A mental voice affirmed, "You are destined to rewrite the throne." Her eyes shifted from silver to gold, a profound change marking her. My power evolves, she murmured. Upstairs, the council's plot unfolded. Harlan slipped poisoned tea into Arya's quarters via a servant. She sipped, sensing the taint. Fools, she said, unleashing magic to purge it. Cloaked wolves attacked next, silver blades gleaming. Arya remained calm. You come for me? She taunted, summoning soul-bound wolves. The assailants lunged. Die, witch! One snarled. Her wolves tore through, them effortlessly, shadows devouring. You died for nothing, Arya declared, standing amid the destruction. Kyle rushed in. Arya, are you hurt? She shook her head. They failed, but this is only the beginning, he pleaded. End this conflict. Talk to the council. She stepped forward, unafraid. No, justice demands more. Ryan and Theron arrived, surveying the scene. Assassins from the nobles, Ryan confirmed. Theron growled. Harlan's handiwork. Elara joined, bandaging minor wounds. The kingdom fractures. Unite or fall, Meera whispered to Elara. The Omega's fire burns bright. Will it consume us all? Secret, the council regrouped. She survives, Harlan fumed. Escalate, full strike. Arya, alone in her chamber, felt the golden eyes power. Rewrite the throne, she echoed, resolve hardening. Chaol knocked. We face them together tomorrow. She agreed. Yes, no mercy for betrayers. The keep tensed. The ritual's force awakening distant howls, signaling imminent change. Arya strode into the council hall the next morning, Chaol silent beside her. The alphas shifted uneasily, Harlan's glare sharp. You dare confront us after surviving our warnings, he spat. Arya's voice rang clear. Warnings? Assassinations, you mean? Poisoned tea, silver blades. I know your hand's in it, Harlan denied. Lies. You're the threat. Corrupted Omega. She presented a bloodied cloak from an attacker. This bears your sigil. Step down or face consequences, Kyle added. She's right. Betrayal ends now. Justice, not vengeance. The hall erupted in protests. An unbonded Omega dictating to Alphas, another noble shouted. Arya silenced them with a surge of power, shadows flickering. I've earned this. Authority. Choose wisely. One by one, council members resigned, the old regime crumbling. Harlan fled last, cursing. This isn't over! The kingdom braced for the shift, Arya and Chaol united in breaking traditions. The court is yours, Chaol said later, admiration evident. She nodded. Ours, a survivor and a reformed king. Alone by the sea, Chaol reflected on his lost wolf's return. The bond's end didn't erase my love, he murmured to the waves. Theron found him. Sire, the nobles scatter, but loyalty grows among the packs. Kyle stood. Good. Arya leads with mercy. Ensure it's known. In her chambers, Arya sensed Kyle's transformation deepen, his wolf more powerful. Changed for good, she whispered, Ryan reported to Elara. The queen rises, but shadows linger. Harlan plots exile, Elara warned. Watch closely. Peace is fragile. Arya addressed remaining loyalists. This new era protects all. Omegas, outcasts. No more fear. Cheers rose, but she felt the weight. It's begun, she told Chaol that night. He vowed. And we'll see it through. Harlan, in hiding, gathered dissidents. The false queen falls soon. The keep buzzed with change. Arya's power defending against remnants of the old order, her golden eyes a beacon of resolve. In the wake of the council's collapse, Wintervale Keep buzzed with uneasy alliance as Arya and Chaol solidified their rule. Nobles who remained loyal gathered in the great hall, their faces a mix of awe and apprehension. Arya stood at the throne's base, her golden eyes scanning the room, while Chaol flanked her, his transformed wolf a subtle presence radiating strength. We've broken the old chains, Arya declared, her voice echoing. No more noble bloodlines dictating fate. This court belongs to survivors, to those like me who were never meant to rise. A young beta, newly promoted from the packs, stepped forward. My queen, what of the outcasts? Will you truly protect them? Arya nodded firmly. Yes, Omegas, half-bloods, all will have voice. Chaol and I stand united, unbonded, but unbreakable. Chaol added, his tone resolute. Traditions that divided us end today. Ryan, report on the borders. Ryan bowed, maps in hand. Sire, scouts confirm. Harlan's dissidents flee north, but whispers of rebellion linger. Theron grunted from the side. Harlan's cunning. He'll rally exiles, Elara interjected wisely. Focus on healing within. The people see your unity as hope, not threat. Mira, now elevated to advisor, smiled at Arya. You've inspired the servants, child. They call you the awakened Omega. Arya turned to Chaol privately as the meeting adjourned. This power shift, it feels right, but fragile. He squeezed her hand. It is, but together, we'll fortify it. Lord Harlan, in a hidden camp beyond the ridge, plotted with remnants. The false queen mocks us, he snarled to a cloaked ally. Gather silver weapons, we'll strike when they least expect. Back at the keep, Arya and Chaol walked the battlements. Harlan won't surrender easily, Chaol warned. She gazed at the horizon. Let him come. My magic defends us now. Ryan approached. A message from the packs. They pledge loyalty, but demand proof of mercy. Arya agreed. Grant amnesty to minor conspirators. Show strength through fairness. Theron oversaw the orders. Wise, but watch for spies. Elara met Mira in the infirmary. The union strengthens them, pray it holds, Mira nodded. The goddess smiles on this front. As night fell, Arya and Chaol shared a quiet meal. No regrets? She asked. None, he replied. This front, we've earned it, Harlan's ally whispered. Soon, we'll test their unity. The keep settled, a united force against looming shadows. Kale sought refuge by the crashing sea, waves mirroring his inner turmoil. The wolf's return had empowered him, but the bond's absence left a persistent void. He stared at the horizon, salt wind whipping his hair, grappling with love that endured despite everything. "Why persist?" he murmured to the empty shore. "She's strong without me." Footsteps crunched behind. Theron approached cautiously. "Sire, or wandering alone? The kingdom needs its king." Kyle glanced back. "Needs or burdens? My wolf's changed, fiercer, tied to her power, but I feel adrift." Theron sat on a rock. "Adrift? You've reformed the court, stood by Arya. That's leadership." Kyle shook his head. "Leadership born of regret. The trial stripped my pride, but love remains. Without the bond, is it enough?" Theron pondered. "Bonds aren't everything. Choice matters. She chose to let you stay." A wave crashed, echoing Kyle's sigh. "True, but the emptiness. It's like losing part of myself again." Back at the keep, Arya sensed the shift, her moonstone glowing. "Kale's wolf returns fully," she told Elara in the garden. Elara nodded. "Transformed by suffering. Silver flames, gold eyes, symbols of devotion," Ryan interrupted. "My queen, reports. Harlan's camp grows. We must act." Arya focused. "Send scouts, but wait for Kale." Mira joined. "He's by the sea, reflecting. Give him time." At the shore, Kale's wolf stirred, a jet-black form with silver flames erupting. He shifted, howling as power surged, forgiveness and fire intertwined. "For her," the wolf growled internally. He shifted back, kneeling. "Arya, my love, beyond duty, beyond bond." Theron watched in awe. "Changed indeed. Return, sire. She awaits." Kyle stood. "Yes, time to declare it publicly." They rode back, Kyle's eyes now glowing gold. In the hall, he found Arya. "My wolf's reborn, devoted. To you," she touched his face, moved. "I feel it." United by choice, he knelt publicly as packs gathered. "Arya, I love you. Let Frostmoor, Wintervale, witness our union." She kissed him, sealing it. Reborn Alpha, risen queen. Ryan cheered with Theron. "A new era," Elara whispered to Mira. "Love triumphs," Harlan's spy reported. "They're stronger. We need allies." Kyle and Arya embraced, resilience binding them. That night, Arya tossed in her chambers, the moonstone shard, stirring restlessly. She rose, stepping onto the balcony overlooking Wintervale. The kingdom lay still, time seeming to freeze as stars swirled unnaturally. A celestial figure appeared, cloaked in stars, a woman with ethereal grace. "Arya Veyron," the moon goddess intoned, voice like distant thunder. "Your survival bends." "Fate!" Arya bowed instinctively. "Goddess, why appear now?" The figure's eyes pierced. "You were not meant to live, yet pain forged you. Power earned, but light casts shadows. A threat rises, a shadowy wolf, bloodthirsty blade, ancient curse awakened by your awakening." Arya's heart raced. "What curse? How do I fight it?" The goddess warned. "The shadow seeks your throne. Allies will falter. Choices will break you. Face it with him or alone. Fate twists." The vision faded, leaving Arya trembling. Kyle entered, sensing distress. "Arya, what happened?" She leaned on him. "The goddess warned of a rising shadow, curse tied to my power." He held her. "We'll face it together. No more alone." In the war room, Ryan and Theron pored over maps. "Coronation nears," Ryan said, "but the council's surrender feels too smooth." Theron agreed. "Treachery brews." "Harlan?" Elara entered. "Worse. Omens in the stars. Ancient threats," Mira added. "The goddess stirs. Arya's haunted." Preparations bustled, but Arya moved like a ghost, burdened. "The threat's personal," she confided to Kyle. My survival triggered it, he vowed. Then, we'll end it. For us, for Wintervale. In shadows, 5 noble alphas plotted with a chained prisoner, scarred, eyes burning. Investigate the Omega, Harlan ordered. Mock her strength no more, the prisoner snarled. She'll break, as promised. An unnatural snowstorm approached, wolves sensing danger. Kyle's instincts flared. It's here, he told Arya. She nodded. The goddess's warning begins. Ryan alerted guards. Disappearances. Threat stalks the halls. Theron armed. Lock down. Protect the queen. Elara prayed. Goddess, shield them. Arya and Chaol stood vigilant, the storm heralding peril. Guards vanished one by one in the storm-shrouded keep, tension coiling like a serpent. Chaol and Arya discovered a body hung from the ceiling, crescent moon burned into flesh. A message, Chaol growled. Ryan examined it. The prisoner escaped, the Omega Hunter from the Blood Uprising. I sentenced him years ago. Arya shivered. He killed bonded mates. Now targets us, Chaol revealed. I saw Omegas as weakness then, but they're the soul. He's here for revenge. The assassin lurked in shadows, aiming to break Arya through doubt. 2 more bodies appeared, lights flickering out. A scream echoed. Arya confronted the intruder, fire magic flaring. You, the assassin hissed, silver blades glinting. False queen, I'll drain your magic. She hurled flames. Try it. He dodged, slashing with poisoned silver. Weak without your king. Arya fought fiercely, wounded but unyielding. I faced worse than you. Kyle shifted into his black-silver beast, charging. Leave her. The battle raged, Kyle's claws rending, Arya's moonstone incinerating the assassin in a blaze. She collapsed, gasping. Not alone. He had allies. Kyle shifted back. We'll find them. Rest now. Theron secured the scene. More threats loom. Coronation's a target, Ryan agreed. Claim the throne firmly. Snow blanketed Wintervale as they prepared. Arya donned simple attire, scars visible. This ceremony's for the outcasts, Kyle supported. You're ready. Elara tended her wounds. The goddess tests, but you endure, Mira whispered. Inspire them, child. The assassin's essence lingered in whispers, but Arya stood resolute. Victory, she told Chaol. He nodded. Ours. Harlan, learning of the failure, seethed. Next strike at coronation. Ryan increased guards. No breaches. Theron patrolled. Eyes open. The keep braced. The battle a pivot toward destiny. Nobles and envoys filled the grand hall for the historic coronation, tension palpable. Arya entered alone, embodying resolve in her battle-scarred gown. The priestess offered the crown. Arya Varen, do you accept? She refused. Not until Wintervale is safe for all, Omegas, outcasts. I vow mercy, but wear no crown till scars heal, and justice prevails. The assembly murmured, then cheered as Chaol declared, She's the true alpha. Follow her. Support swelled, packs howling approval. After, Arya and Chaol shared a quiet moment. Our victory, he said. She nodded. Jointly earned. In shadows, a figure at a bloodied altar learned of her crowning. False queen, it hissed. The game begins. Arya sensed an ominous force. Ancient threat enters, she warned Kyle. He received a scroll with House Varen's sigil. Your bloodline, moonbound powers, thought destroyed in wars. Arya accepted. Enemies seek to end it, but I'm ready, Ryan reported. Borders stir. Survivors seek you, Theron added. Your brother. Rumors say he lives, Elara confirmed. Violin. Keep hold secrets, Chaol urged. We go together, rewrite history. They departed quietly with Ryan, Theron, and wolves toward Violin ruins. Mira watched. Ghosts await. Harlan's ally smiled. Perfect trap. Arya rode, heritage weighing. Face the past, she told Chaol. He vowed. With you. The journey began. Coronation. A turning point. The frost-covered ruins of Vailin Keep loomed under a crimson sky, its charred stones whispering of ancient betrayals. Arya led Chaol, Ryan and Theron through the desolate halls, her shadow wolves prowling silently. Nightmares of her family's fiery end haunted her, her brother Kieran saving her before perishing. Yet a sealed chamber's discovery shook her, certainty. Inside, a lineage tablet showed her parents' names, but Kieran's was scratched out. Chaol's face paled. "I did that," he confessed, voice low. "I was a soldier in the Omega Cleansing Wars. I burned Vailin Keep. Your family." Arya's golden eyes blazed, magic flaring. "You? You killed them?" Chaol dropped to his knees. "I was young, obedient, blind to the horror. Rejecting you was my guilt, punishing myself for that night." She trembled, rage warring with pain. "How do I trust you now?" "You don't have to," he said. "Hate me, but know I'm not that man anymore." A parchment fell from the tablet, a note in Kieran's hand. "I live. Vengeance for our blood." Arya clutched it. "He's alive, and coming for Winter Vale." Ryan scanned the chamber. "Mercenaries. Attack the borders, led by a man with moonstone eyes and a flame scar." "Your brother," Theron growled. "He's built an army of outcasts." Elara, who'd joined them, urged caution. "Arya, your power draws him. Be wary." Mira, guarding the rear, whispered, "The past hunts you both." Back at Wintervale, reports confirmed coordinated strikes. Arya faced Chaol. "You destroyed my family, yet chose me. Why?" Chaol met her gaze. "Because you're my redemption. I'll fight for you, even if you never forgive." She softened, not forgiving, but understanding. "I don't hate you, but Kieran, I must face him." A soot-blackened raven landed, bearing a blood-written message. "Meet me at Vailin Keep, Blood Moon, alone." Arya accepted. "Trap or not, I go," Chaol protested. "Not alone." She stood firm. "My brother, my fight." Ryan and Theron prepared defenses. "If it's war, we're ready," Ryan said. Elara prayed. "Goddess, protect her." Mira watched the horizon. Blood calls blood. Arya steeled herself, the note a burning weight, as they rode back to face the reckoning. Under the blood moon's eerie glow, Arya confronted Kieran at Vailin Keep's ruins. His flame-scarred face and moonstone eyes gleamed with menace, an army of rogue wolves behind him. "You wear a crown while I rebuilt our legacy through betrayal," he accused, voice venomous. Arya stood tall. "Kieran, I thought you dead. Join me, not this vengeance." He laughed coldly. "Join? You've softened, sister. The kingdom burned us. Now it burns." Magic surged, binding Arya's moonstone power to him. Darkness swallowed her vision, the keep trembling. "What have you done?" she gasped. "Taken your light," Kieran sneered, "to remake our world." Chaol, at Wintervale, sensed her loss, smashing the war table. "She's taken!" he roared to Ryan and Theron. Ryan rallied troops. "We ride to Vailin," Theron armed. "Blood war begins." Elara's voice shook. "The moon's red. Omens of ruin." Mira clutched a talisman. "Save her, or all falls." Kieran dragged Arya to an obsidian chamber, runes glowing. "Break, sister, and join my Flameborn," he urged. She struggled against silver chains, muting her magic. "You're not my brother anymore. The forest twisted you." He leaned close. "It remade me. See what Wintervale did. I'll show you." Chaol rode through frost, vision guiding him. Arya bound, power stolen. "I'll tear the world apart for her," he vowed. Ryan kept pace. "Unbonded, betas, outcasts, we rally them for her," Theron added. "Kieran's army grows. We're outnumbered." At the chamber, Arya's resolve hardened. "I won't break, Kieran. For our family's memory, I'll save you." He scoffed. "Save? You'll burn," Chaol's wolves neared, sensing blood magic. Arya's chains cracked faintly, her will stirring. "I'm still here," she whispered, The blood moon intensified, skies reddening, wolves howling across Wintervale. Chael's fury drove him forward, the trap closing around them all. Bound in the obsidian chamber, Arya felt her wolves and magic muted, the moonstone dim. Kieran loomed, his scarred face lit by runes. "Break, Arya," he urged. "Join my Flameborn to burn Wintervale's corrupt heart." She glared defiantly. "You're the corruption now. The forest didn't save you, it consumed you." Kieran's eyes flickered with pain. Consumed? No, it showed me truth. The kingdom betrayed us, nobles, alphas, even Chael. Arya strained against the chains. "Chael's changed. He fights for me, not against." Kieran laughed. "Love blinds. He burned our home." Outside, Chael rallied unbonded and outcasts in frost-covered woods. "For Arya we fight," he roared, war leathers replacing royal garb. Ryan nodded. "The packs unite. Her name inspires them." Theron scouted ahead. "Kieran's sanctum pulses with blood magic. Dangerous." Elara, tending the keep, sent a prayer. "Goddess, shield her light." Mira guarded the gates. "Hurry, Chael. Time bleeds." In the chamber, Kieran showed Arya visions. Their family's slaughter, his survival in Shadowfen's depths. "I was broken, remade to lead," he said. "Join me, or die." Arya's voice softened. "Kieran, we can heal. Together." He turned away. "Healing's for fools." Chael's vision returned. Arya in chains, Flameborn gathering. "She's alive," he told Ryan. "We breach now," Theron warned. "Blood magic strong. We'll lose many." Kyle's eyes glowed gold. "Then we pay the price." Arya felt a surge, Kyle's presence. A chain cracked. "He's coming," she whispered, hope igniting. Kieran rallied his rogues at a bone and blood altar. "Kill the crown!" he shouted. Chael burst through in wolf form, silver flames blazing. "Arya!" he howled, her chains shattered, moonstone flaring. "Chael!" she called, magic surging. Chaos erupted, wolves clashing. Ryan and Theron fought fiercely, protecting Chael. Elara sensed the battle. "It begins!" Mira armed the keep. "Hold fast!" Arya's power roared, a starlight wolf forming, as she and Chael locked eyes, their union igniting against Kieran's fury. Arya broke free, her moonstone blazing as she shattered the obsidian walls with a scream. Starlight wolves surged around, her, scattering Kieran's Flameborn. "Enough!" she shouted, facing her brother. "I choose myself, not your war, not the crown." Kieran staggered, stunned. "You reject our legacy." She disarmed him with a burst of magic, voice softening. "I reject vengeance. You're my brother. I love you, but I won't follow you." Kyle pushed through the chaos, human again, bloodied, but resolute. "Arya, you're safe." She nodded, holding Kieran at bay. "Take him. Bind him with runes." Ryan and Theron secured Kieran, who remained silent, brooding. "This isn't the end," he muttered as they led him below the castle. Peace settled uneasily. Arya felt watched, unease lingering. "Something's coming," she told Chael. A scout burst in. "Eastern woods die. A shadowless creature walks. In daylight." Elara, joining them, frowned. "A tear in the veil between worlds," Mira whispered. "The goddess's warning unfolds." Chael gripped Arya's hand. "We face it together," Ryan reported. "Alphas panic, lands blight, wolves vanish." Theron armed. "Foreign kingdoms demand we contain her." Arya stood defiant. "I'm protector, not prisoner." In the dungeon, Kieran smirked. "You stopped me, sister, but the true threat rises." Back in the hall, Arya addressed loyalists. "A new enemy stirs. We stand united," Chael vowed. "No force will break us." Elara tended the wounded. "The veil weakens. Prepare," Mira prayed. Strength awakened Omega. The scout's words echoed, a chilling voice in Arya's mind. "Not your queen, but a gate." She confided to Chael. "I'm the key to something larger." He nodded. Then we guard that gate together. Wintervale braced, the rebellion's end. A fragile pause before a greater storm. Arya and Chaol ventured into the Veyons, a timeless forest where reality shimmered. A carved archway opened, flooding Arya with visions. Forgotten queens, tragedies tied to her bloodline. A shadowy figure emerged. "You are the key and gate," it intoned. "Moon, flame, tide, your blood converges. A curse only the unloved carry." Arya's voice trembled. "Curse? I'm no one's pawn." Chaol gripped her hand. "She's our queen. Speak plainly." The figure vanished, leaving whispers. Balance or break the world. At Wintervale, Nightborn wolves arrived. Pale, black-cloaked, led by an antlered woman. "Arya, Queen of Moonfire," she declared. "Surrender, or we destroy all." Arya faced the council. "They demand me, refusing Doom's innocence," Chaol protested. "You can't go alone," she stood firm. "I must, for the people," Ryan warned. "They're unnatural, grave eyes," Theron armed. "We follow discreetly," Elara prayed. "Goddess, guide her," Mira whispered. "You're more, Arya." The antlered woman led Arya to an ancient stronghold, revealing a throne meant for her mother. "Rule, but Chaol dies," she said. Arya refused. "Never. I choose him." In a prophetic pool, Arya saw futures, ruling alone, or with Chaol. Realm falling. Not love or power, she realized. Survival. Chaol with Ryan and Theron watched from afar. "She's no weakness," Chaol told Ryan. "She's my anchor." The Nightborn knelt, accepting her. "Queen of 3 bloodlines," they chanted. Back at Wintervale, a mural revealed Arya's heritage. Moonbound, flameborn, saltbound. A goddess vision confirmed. Balance the forces, or they consume. Chaol changed, eyes blue-tinged. "I'll adapt for you," he vowed. Sea kings rose, tide creatures attacking. Arya unleashed fire, moonlight, salt. "For Wintervale," she roared. Chaol fought beside her, anchor unbroken. Together, Elara sensed peace. They balance. Mira smiled. New era dawns. Ryan and Theron fortified. Hold the line. Arya and Chaol stood amidst victory, a new world forged by resilience and love.